So the next item to do to work out is the rectifier. I think I'll weld nuts to the under tray, which will lift it slightly off, and then it is just airflow, whether this, because there is a big gap through the front there where the air can come up via the engine oil in through the side and come up through here and get to that. I sound so confident. Yes. So yes, it'd be sort of 2 nuts welded to the under tray, and then this bolted to those, which will lift it off the under tray by a little bit, so the whole thing can get air around it, in theory. And hopefully that will give it enough. Then it's just a couple of nubbins coming up for the starter solenoid and stuff to be held in place. That could actually just be a bolt, a couple of bolts welded to the under tray, because they'll go over it, and then some felt or something actually on the under tray to stop it banging against the metal. That can be mounted on the edge of this plastic. There's a lug to go in there and a elastic strap to go over that to keep the ECU in place. I'll put some foam on the underside of that, which will push down on the battery, giving that more stability. But yes, first of all, locating where the nuts are going to go for this, and then welding everything in place. Okay, there's the proud pyramids of porridge which will hold the regulator rectifier down via 2 bolts. I've done a double nut, welded together and welded to the floor. Did have a blow through this side, that'll be addressed. Wants a bit of a sand and a coat of I was going to say antifreeze then. Definitely doesn't want antifreeze, wants primer, undercoat. So that's the housing for. That's not so bad. Now let's see about fitting it and see just how inaccurate my nut placement was. I'm gonna stop dropping stuff. Right, that'll come in like that. That'll go in there like that. And that should go. Wow. In there like that. And the top nuts, well, the bolts would be shortened anyway, because that would be ridiculous. But there you go. And it's held off the under tray for maximum airflow from wherever I might get airflow. Yeah, Yes. I wonder if it's going to mess with that ECU now. Shouldn't do, should it? Not at that distance. Nah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. What am I worried about? That'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. So, next thing to do is to bring all the electrics back in. That one there. That one there. That can go over the back for a minute. Get out of the way. You go over there. Then this all gets pushed down in there nicely. That will come forward for the battery quite nicely. So on a mounting point for the starter solenoid. So you have the clip there, like that. Then this bit of elastic goes down in there. Like that, and then over that like that. Which then keeps the ECU in check. That could be bolted somewhere. Will that be too high for the seat? That might be too high for the seat. I don't even know what it is. What is it? Why's it got a pipey thing on it? It's a Gsxr. It's a Gsxr and it's from Japan. Should have paid more attention to where that was actually fitted. But that can go there. Do we mind that going over there? I don't think we do. That's got tough plastic on it. Okay, so things are moving forward. Got the starter solenoid there. It's on its own plastic mounting, and that is bolted to the side. So there's movement there, but similar to what the bouncing that you get on the other tray. Positive lead reaches battery no problem. Still got to figure out what that is, but screwing it on there with the seat in place is no problem because of the way the seat comes up at the back. So that's not a terrible thing. Rectifier's in place. Hopefully I get enough air. On my 600 I mounted the rectifier underneath the bracket that went across here next to the battery. Mounted it to the underside of that tank bracket. Yeah, it was the tank bracket. Mounted it to the underside of that, and it was about that far away from the battery, and it was that close that I actually shaved off some of the fins to chamfer it, so you could get, because the battery used to go in sort of that angle, so you could get the battery in and out and it didn't touch. But as I say, it was about that far away from the battery, and I never had any problems with anything melting on the battery or anything like that. Perhaps the airflow was better down there, don't know, but there's nothing going to touch this rectifier, so hopefully it won't burn anything out. Hopefully. Shall we try it and see if it will start? Yeah, why not? Why not? We haven't heard it for a while. let's see. This is where the rectifier catches fire to everything. Get in there. Oh, I think this is the wrong battery. This is the wrong battery. This is the dead one I used for. This is the fucked one that I just used for testing lights and stuff on. It won't hold enough of a charge. I think it's the old one out of the booster that died the other day. Right, let's try this one instead. Right, connections are on. Connections are on. Get the welder over that side a bit. Then want the key out of there, and we want it in the ignition, which is a bit awkward down this side, to be fair. Indicators off, lights off. Right, ignition on. We have a pump. That's the horn. We don't want the horn, we want the starter. There we go.
What up, yo, tag?
Oh, he's happy enough, isn't he? He's happy enough. He's happy enough.